मगर एक दो सवाल, a couple of questions that are being asked is that could we have waited after the Supreme Court verdict? And I'm asking you again, because this is the first interview after that Supreme Court verdict, is our position changing with regards to the negotiations, sir?
This is, as I said, it's an evolving situation. We'll have to see. The Trump administration has made some comments. I'm sure
so
all
Mr.
of us
Trump
have heard
has said,
those
don't
comments.
play games with us.
They have many other tools that they could possibly use. They've already used one of them, Section 122, by which they put a 10% tariff. I think they are on record that next week they may increase it to 15% for the first 150 days. So there are different evolving dialogues that are going on. We'll have to watch. And by the way, you must have read my joint statement that we had finalized with the US. It has categorically said that should the circumstances change, the deal would be rebalanced.
So you're talking about
to
clause 8?
ensure that the balance of the deal is maintained on both sides.
Important statement there. So you're talking about clause 8. That's the one that allows
it provides that the deal will be the sanctity of the deal is both ways.
So given this change and given the fact that even talk of 15% is less than 18%, is that an incentive for us? That strengthen our
Well, it does, of course,
bargaining position.
Give an opportunity for everybody to continue to export without hindrance. But bear in mind, the deal was better because it had many other elements, which, of course, whenever you will finally see the deal, you will realize, oh my God, this is also there, this is also there, this is also there. So till we finally ink it, I'm not in a position to share every detail. Though all the sensitive matters I've already clarified. But I can assure you, there's so many more positives to the deal that we should wait. Let us see how the situation moves forward. Remember, trade deal or international trade is about comparative advantage. You must have heard the theory of competitiveness coming out of comparative advantage.
True.
So the trade deal, if everybody is at X rate, nobody gets a competitive advantage. But if I'm lower than somebody else, who is my competitor, I have a comparative advantage. So I hope your channel, your viewers will take this message that remember always, trade deal is not only about what the tariff is, it is more about the competitive advantage that you get over your competition. And certainly at 50% tariff, we were at a huge disadvantage in our exports. And the fact that we were able to bring it down to lower than the rest of our competition was a huge win for India. It would have opened the doors to a lot of agricultural exports also to the United States. It would have opened the doors for our labor-oriented sectors, textiles, leather, sportswear, handicrafts, handlooms. It would have given a huge leg up for the sectors like diamonds, for pharmaceuticals. Our smartphones are growing relentlessly. I think you saw in the paper today, its export of smartphones has just shot up in the last 2 years. So India is on the move. And despite all the global turbulence, this year our exports will be higher than last year.
Talking about competitive advantage, some people, and I won't say one particular critic, I'll say quite a few critics are saying that had we waited, we might have been better placed. Some economies that have concluded the deal now find that they might be at a disadvantage after the Supreme Court order. So I'm only asking you, Piyushji, do you believe that that competitive advantage after the SC's verdict no longer exists because everyone now starts
We'll
at
have
the
to
same?
wait and watch and see what tools the administration plans to use and how the situation progresses. It's too early to venture a guess.
This is something that comes up quite often. And this is the conversation about timelines. it's important to have a deal with America concluded within a certain span, especially if you're going ahead and talking to others. There's Canadian Premier coming and so forth. So what would be the timeline now that we're looking at? Is it not the March 15th and the other sort of...
I think I would urge somebody from your research team to look at my statements right from 2021. That's 5 years. You will find consistency, unlike some other people. You will find consistency that I never negotiate with a deadline or a timeline. We negotiate to get the best deal for India and for 140 crore Indians. And I don't think we need to set any timelines on any deals whatsoever.
So why do you think that the government hasn't been able to convince the opposition that keeps asking these questions?